Max Verstappen is on pole. Again, raise your hand if you're shocked. Is anyone shocked? Anyone? Anyone at all? I don't see any hands raised. No one is shocked. Max Verstappen on pole for the fourth consecutive race, and I think the fourth straight race at Austria. There was last year, I think he was on pole. This year, he's on pole, obviously. And then both the races that they had in 2021, I think he was on pole. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But yes, and once again, it has been the two extremes for Red Bull. You got Verstappen on pole, and, actually this week he had a little bit more of a threat. Leclerc was within half of a tenth of a second. He was like 400ths off the pace. And then you had Sergio Perez for the fourth straight time missing Q3. Now, we saw at Monaco, he crashed in Q1. I can't remember what happened in Spain, but he missed Q3. And then Canada, he missed Q3 as well. I missed those qualifying sessions, so I can't remember what happened. But this week, he had the pace. He was there. He was second fastest. Track limits. Track limits has been a debate at this track for a while, or it's been a hot topic at this track for a while. And this year it seemed more extreme than ever. Last year, I'm not sure if they were joking or if this is really a fact, but on the broadcast they said last year there were 16 deleted track limit or track times or times deleted due to track limits. 16. And I think they said in Q1 and Q2 there was like 16 combined. So they destroyed that record, but yeah, it really did seem like every 10 seconds elapsed time was being deleted. And it wasn't just Perez. I mean, we saw Piastri get it. We saw Verstappen even get it, and he had to go back out and make an extra run. We saw, I think, Russell, Hamilton. I mean, basically every single driver, I think, at some point had track limits. And it's those last two turns that are so difficult that you go wide, and you got to stay within the white line of the curb. And yeah, it's because it's downhill. It's kind of hard turns, and you just go a little bit wide, and, track limits get enforced. All four tires have to stay within that white line, and not everyone does it. So you either got to go out and make another lap, or you're out of time, and tough luck. So we saw that a lot today, the track limits debate, and that is what kept Sergio Perez out of Q3. He had a really competitive lap time. As I said, he was second on the board when his lap time got deleted, but he was just that much over. And unfortunately for him, he was once again out in Q3, and he will start 15th in the Grand Prix. So he's got a lot of work to do for the fourth consecutive race. Yeah, I mean, it was a funk when it was like two straight races, but it's been four straight race weekends now. Like, he's got to get it together. I mean, Red Bull is known for booting people out when they don't do well. I mean, Nick DeVries is a rookie, not even halfway through his rookie season, and people are talking about him getting replaced mid-season. Like, Perez has got to get it together. Yes, he had a really strong start to the year. He got a pole at Saudi Arabia. He got a pole at Miami. He's got 2 wins at Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan. But since that Miami Grand Prix, when he finished second, it's been a disaster. He's in a very fast car. He's in a car that has won every race this year. He's got to do better. I'm not saying he has to go out there and beat Max Verstappen every single week, because he's Max Verstappen. He's a 2-time, about to be 3-time world champion. He's tied for, 6th on the all-time wins list. He's an all-time great already. I'm not saying you have to go out there and beat him, but you got to go up there and get Red Bull a podium at worst. I mean, this car is incredible. You should be fighting for a podium at worst. So Perez has got to get it together desperately. I think he was the one who called the track limits. I think he said, "What a joke," with a bad word somewhere in there. But yeah, if you want my hot take on track limits, I think, well, I'm a NASCAR fan, so people are going to yell at me for this. I think if it's paved, you should be able to drive it. Now, obviously, cutting corners is a different thing, but if you go wide, if it's paved, you should be able to use it, because if you go too wide, then it's basically a self-enforced penalty and it slows you down. If you don't want them going off in a certain area, put grass or gravel there, and that is a self-inflicted penalty where they go off, they slow down, they have to get back on track. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm stupid for having that opinion. But yes, Perez is out again. Really sad to see. But hopefully he can figure it out soon. Well, he needs to. So, yeah, whether it's the sprint tomorrow, whether it's the race Sunday, he's got to get it figured out. But we did see a lot of different people up front. Aston Martin did not seem as strong this week, specifically Alonso. Alonso's been consistently top 5 this season at worst. He has 6 podiums, I want to say. And Stroll out-qualified him. I think Stroll 6th and Alonso 7th. But Ferrari was really competitive today. I think Sainz is on the second row. Leclerc, as I said, just 48 hundredths off of the pole time. So a really competitive lap for him. Of course, we know that he is an excellent qualifier. And then Lando Norris. McLaren gave him some upgrades, and he's starting, I think, 4th. Really good for him. Mercedes seemed a little bit slower today. I mean, they're still competitive. Hamilton is still 5th. But Russell was out in Q2. I think he had a track limits issue. I think that was his problem. But, yeah, other than that, no super big shockers. Like, what was it? Last week we would have had Hulkenberg on the front row if it wasn't for the grid penalty. So no big shockers like that. But Sergio Perez missing Q3 for the 4th straight race. That is concerning for him. Max Verstappen winning the pole again. Not a shock there. So that's just a quick qualifying update. We got the sprint race tomorrow. I've been thinking it's Saturday all day because it's qualifying for the Grand Prix. But sprint race tomorrow, I will do a recap for that. And then in the afternoon, tomorrow afternoon in the U.S. time, I will be doing a live reaction to the Chicago street race practice in qualifying. Well, qualifying mainly. And then Sunday morning, I will do the Austrian Grand Prix recap, kind of what I just did here, and then the Cup race recap that Sunday night. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are.